Hey y'all, it's Rio here. Welcome back to another episode of Coloring Passports. Today we are tackling the Ganges River dolphin. I am super excited about this because this is going to be another kind of illustration-y one. We're going to get through it super quickly while we talk about this sweet baby. Okay, so here's what we just realized. We had a little malfunction with the camera. So I'm gonna walk you through what I've really done because it's no different than everything we've done so far to date. So if you've come into this book and you think you wanna start with this dolphin, don't. Pick another one, start with it so you understand the process. So these are all the colors that I've used. I've used espresso, I've used mahogany red, I've used grayed lavender, I've used the putty. I started this dolphin with the celadon green and just kind of went in and added some of this green. You can see it here, you can see it here, here. And I just am making really light scribbly marks on him because I just want some of that color to show through once we go back in and really start defining these areas. The mahogany, super intense color. So I'm just adding a little bit of it here, just right over where I've already added it. I want a little bit more of it there, that's all. And I also feel like I want a little bit more of it up here on his head. So there's that. That's where your mahogany gets used. Your celadon green is in the flippers. It's on the underbelly part. It's back here. It kind of defines some of the shapes of the back of his body and his tail here. I put some of it on his face. Bottom line is, this guy's kind of gnarly looking. I'm gonna take this celadon here, green, and come right over the top of all this. And the interesting thing to me is that even though I know this color is green, it's reading like gray on top of all these other colors. And he kind of has that greeny hue to him because he's in gross river water, y'all. These guys only live in the rivers in India. And that water is super dark. So I'm coming in here. I'm gonna start going around the corner with this. I'm gonna just take that same celadon green and just blend all of this out. So you've got all those various colors now showing up in here, and it's working. It's working. And then we'll come back in with some gouache and jazz him up a little bit. See that? See how it just blends right in? All those beautiful colors just sort of start blending themselves together. Gonna come right over the top of this back flipper here, and I'll add some highlight colors to this in just a minute. But this green is truly gonna make this job so much easier. It is. It's just gonna make it easier. Okay, I'm gonna come right over the top of this. Right over the top of this here. So we've got the celadon really getting after it. Now I want to come in with a little bit of that grayed lavender right on top. That's also going to read like gray and brown. And I need to set that back further. So I'm going to come in here with that grayed lavender right over the top of all of this. Not too super high though. going to color over some of this green with this great lavender so that it blends in just a little bit more. Look at that. I'm going to go right over the back of that espresso. Just hang tight. I know it's not quite there yet, but it's coming. Look at that. Okay, so that's your grade lavender, right? We've got 90% French gray right here, which is going to be a little more, that's too dark. I don't like that. That's not the right color. Let's grab 50% warm gray. It's going to have a little bit more of that purpley color in it. That might still be a little too dark. These guys have a flexible neck. Most dolphins can only move their head side to side. These guys have a pretty flexible, bendy neck. And I'm sure that's a trait that they had to have in order to be able to feed where they feed. Can you imagine having to live in that river, not being able to see your face, your hand in front of your face? Not saying that they have hands, because obviously they don't have hands. That would be super weird if they had hands. That would be, wow, that would be super weird. But if they had hands, they'd almost be a mermaid, right? Ooh, ponder that for a minute. I'm very quickly getting through this illustration, y'all. And while I'm doing this, I'm pondering what color I'm going to use to go around him with. He has this cute little... Going right over the top of some of this. That. There's your darker. Okay, I'm going to come in and add some of that shadow right here on his face. I just want to color in between his sweet little gnarly teeth. Not gonna lie, I can barely even see those with my eye situation that's going on here. I have an ulcer on my eyelid on the underside, and so I'm having to wear glasses, which I never do art with my glasses on because it alters my depth perception of things. So bear with me here while we get through this one together. just using that same 50% warm gray, darkening up all the necessary areas of this sweet baby dolphin here. Gonna make his belly a little bit darker. And it's looking pretty jagged and pretty ratchet right now. I'm not gonna lie, I understand if you're going, wow, Rio, what are we doing here? This is not the norm. This is not how we normally perform here. However, hang tight. We're gonna pull this off and it's gonna be super cool. So there's that. We're gonna add some more of this in here. I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna come in and add, I've got the French gray now. Here we go. I'm gonna come right over the top of all of this with the French gray. So, there's your tail. We'll darken that up in a minute. Right over the top of all of this. That French gray. You see I've got all of my highlights, got my shadows in there. That looks pretty dang good. Look at that. Yup. There we go. Now we're gonna come over this whole area with that French gray. I'm gonna come in up here with it, just blending. I am pushing super hard. I'm just blending all of this out. We'll come in with some gouache and we'll add some really lovely highlights up here at the top. No worries, don't panic. Look how good he's looking. See, every color of the rainbow. Okay, I'm pushed so hard I have to sharpen this again. Y'all, if you haven't gotten a pencil sharpener from us, get online and order it right now because this Generals is the best. It's the best for these colored pencils. Okay, so I'm gonna come in up here. And I'll darken some of these areas up again further. Right now, I'm just trying to use this 10%, no, this is the 20% French gray because it's got some yellow in it. So it's just a nice, it's a nice color to just kind of blend all of these other colors out with. I like it. I think it's working quite nicely actually. Okay, there's that. There's that. I'm gonna come right over the top of his teeth because I'm not gonna take the time to identify each and every tooth. I'm also gonna color right over the top of all of the creases that I gave him on his face or his mouth there. There we go with that. There we go with all of that. And then the more that I color up here, the more he becomes defined. Look at that! Look at that sweet baby! Okay, so we're gonna put that one down. Okay, now what? I'm gonna take the espresso again. I'm gonna come in. And I'm just gonna start laying in some of this color again in some of these areas. I know I see that espresso back here. the sweet teeny tiny little baby dorsal fin up here. We're gonna add some more color to that. We're gonna gray this out a little bit more too. So I'm gonna grab the slate gray, go right over the top of that again. I'm not a fan of that. Let's grab 70% cool gray here. Yep, that's gonna do it. That'll be fine. Actually, I want the 70% warm gray. I don't like that cool color on there. He's really more brown than he is anything else. This is warm gray, 20% warm gray here. Yeah, that's it. Is that 20 or 70? That's 70%, sorry. I was gonna say, that's really dark. There's no way that's 20%. Darkening this up, darkening this up. Gonna come right back over that with a lighter color. We're almost finished because there's not a whole lot more to do to this guy as far as, you know, what he actually looks like from a illustration point of view, from a field notes illustration point of view. This is one of those situations where you really just want to make mud because he's the color of mud. I mean, he lives in muddy water. I'm going to outline some of these marks here just because. Super softly color up here, and then I'm going to come back over it with some lighter colors because that's how you balance it all out. You see that I'm coloring in the same direction here. I'm making sure that I'm really paying attention to that. Oh, that looks good. Okay, let's come down here and see if we can't fix the top of his face because it's kind of lackluster right now, I'm not gonna lie, it's not great. I don't typically outline all the lines I've already drawn in, but he desperately needs some help, so we're gonna outline some of these lines. Oh, I kind of like it. It's more of an illustration now. Look at that. Okay, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Let's outline this up here and see where we're at with that. That's kind of cool. And And then we'll come in with like the olive color and just go all the way around him. Because my soul has to put some sort of color on this at some point. Okay, that's, wow. Okay, I like it. So now let's grab the putty beige. Let's come in with the putty beige and just start blending some of this together here. That's new marks up here, that's new marks up here. I like it. Okay, now let's pick a wild color. He is in wildly green. How about artichoke? Let's outline him with artichoke. Oh yes, let's do it. Okay, artichoke it is. Look at that. Look how good that artichoke looks. That's the color of the water he lives in too, y'all. I like that I outlined him in that 70% cool gray first, or warm gray, whichever one I was using. You'll have to keep track of that. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's fun. I kind of feel like, okay, so there's the artichoke all the way around him. And then I kind of wonder, I can't see that. That's like gold. I can't see it. I can't see it. I have gold, silver, and bronze in this palette, but I can't see that. So I'm gonna go back over that with the artichoke. And just be done with it. Okay, now let's give him some highlights. Let's see if we can... I have a paint pen here that I have not activated yet, but I want to give this guy some beautiful highlights. So we're gonna shake this baby up. You probably should shake it up with the lid on. Look how cute he is. He's so cute. Now, if I had more time to spend on this, I would maybe look up, because this is the India has declared this that its national aquatic animal as of 2009. So I would go in and research some patterns from India and maybe put in some India type pattern behind it, make him truly pop arty. And I might do that later, but I don't have time to do that today. I gotta get moving on some other things here for you guys. So I've activated this. I've activated it in the actual lid, so that there's a pool of the paint in the lid. And I did that on purpose, so I can just come back in and dip the nib of this back into that if I need to. Just gonna kind of smudge that out as it goes back. Just gonna smudge it out. So I know we've got some light over here on this part of it. I'm just gonna smudge that out as well. Okay, there we have it. So again, like I said, if I had more time, I'd go in and put I'd do a solid color in the background, and then I'd do some design work, maybe with the paint pen over the top, because it would be really pretty to color it solidly in this mahogany red, because that red's in there. But I don't have time to do that right now, and this is where it lands. So I'm gonna take my favorite color here, sign my name, and call it good. There you have it. There's your Ganges river dolphin. What? Totally digging that. Totally digging that. Oh, I like the way that looks. Gotta get the shot good. Here you go, Chase. There you go. Look at that. And I didn't think I was gonna even like coloring that. Look how cute he is. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me in the studio. I'll catch you on the next page. Ciao.